Morning, gang. Morning, good morning. All right, let me mark off my overnight levels real quick. And then we'll see what we got. So we got a little pullback last night. Definitely not as much as I was hoping for. Still hoping, I mean, I have this green bounce box around 680 to like 640. That would be ideal, but it looks like we're getting a little move up here. Do we not have audio? Can you guys hear me? GT Labs said he can't hear me. All right, cool. You guys can hear me. So that's NQ, kind of hoping for a pullback. I will be watching Asia low to see what kind of a grab we get there, if it comes down here, obviously, hoping for a pullback. If it comes down to Asia low and we get a bounce, could take a long there. If it continues lower, I'll be watching for this green box area to get a bounce. So that's what I'm watching for on NQ&GOLD. I'm actually in a long, just a tiny one contract. But we've been holding VWAP. And watching this resistance area that we have tested multiple times. Like, lots of tests there. So I only did one contract, one micro, because my thought was if we do break this, I'm holding it all the way up to this red box. That's where I'm going. And so far, so good. I'll actually put my TP, where was it? 53.30 is kind of what I'm aiming for. But yeah, that's the thought on gold. And then NQ, market opens in 3 minutes. Let's see if we do get a pullback. Long side targets, if it does stay bullish, I'm thinking up here towards like 370s, 25, 370-ish. We shall see. What chart am I trading? Typically NQ. I won't be looking at gold a whole lot just because I'm in a trade. But yeah, that's usually what I watch. NQ is my bestie. Well, sometimes. We fight a lot. Good morning, chat. Good morning. As you guys are hopping on, hit that like button. I appreciate it. So, off topic. I actually learned yesterday, I haven't tried it yet, but the manual lockout button on the new Trade of 8 prop, Apparently it locks all of your accounts. It's not individualized to just one account. So you can't, from what I've heard, like I said, I haven't tried it, but other friends that are using it, other traders that I know, it locks all of your accounts. So beware. Why futures over common stock? Because if you're a DGen, you can trade 23 hours a day. But I guess no real reason. Like with anything, if you get used to one chart and you really like a couple of charts, then trade that. Like I know there's some people that just trade like Tesla or Apple or Microsoft, or they pick a couple things and that's all they trade. Well, we're just opening up to the moon. If we're going to go up first, then I'll watch this London high level, 25, 150 to 170-ish, see if we get a pullback from there. I definitely have a bullish bias. I was hoping for shorts for downside first. This is our previous day high where we are rejecting right now. Let's see where this continuation goes. There's Asia high. That's not a spot I would necessarily think it would reject. If we're going to reject, I would say London high, maybe. We'll see how this 5-minute candle closes, though. Patience is key. Those are wise words right there. Let's just see what happens, right? Well, there's a reject. Rejection coming. One minute left on this first 5-minute candle. Come on, bestie. Let's hang out today. Let's be friends. 30 seconds on this candle. Interesting drop right there. I'm hopeful. Maybe this is wishful thinking, but I would love to see it go lower. I would rather wait for it to get to the spot I want and take a long. I'm not going to short it from here. But I want it to go down. Yeah, I'm feeling on that. ES is dropping. I like to watch ES for confluence, and ES is below VWAP and looking a little bit weaker. D. Simpson, thank you for that. I appreciate it. There she goes. Nice little rejection from previous day high. Let's see if we get the continuation down. Again, I'm not necessarily looking to short this because it opened up like super strong. And now it's kind of chopping. There's not a clear direction. It could still go up to London high before rejecting, or this thing could just go to the moon. So I don't want to try to figure out where the top is. I would rather wait for it to pull back and take a long. So 834, if we get down to Asia low, I'll watch for a reaction there for a long. If not, 640s to 680s. This green box down here is my bounce area. Until then, we wait. Or at least I'll wait. You guys can do whatever you want. Jasmine, you think I'm smart? I don't know. Sometimes the market makes me feel pretty dumb. But thank you. Good morning, Verisat. All right. This, as of now, is our 15-minute opening range low, but it looks like we might be continuing lower. This is our high. Take note, Marvel. I agree. Eventually, we're going to go up. I think we're going to go down a little bit first, though. That's just me. I'm not in a trade, though, so I'm not, like, putting money behind it. So I could be wrong. Man, what are we doing, NQ? You're already putting us all to sleep? It's only 9 minutes into the open. We don't have any news today. Wait. Yeah, we have existing home sales actually at 10 o'clock. So in 20 minutes we have existing home sales. And that's not usually anything that like makes it launch 200 points in 2 minutes like CPI or PPI, but it could be the reason for this chop. Might not get a whole lot of direction until after 9 o'clock, possibly. Or after 10 o'clock. Oh, drifter's going long. Let's see how it plays out. Take no marvel. You might be homeless at the end of the day. If you're going to copy trade me for your rent, sorry, bud. At 8:30 there was a nice engulfing candle. Are you talking about the market open candle? Yeah, I mean that's typical to have a spike in volume at the open. The recent video that I just posted though, that's talking about like a reversal at a key level. So that's a little bit different. So like for example, if we come down to this either London low or Asia low, that would be a spot where I would potentially look for a reversal and wait for those confirmations that I shared in the video. So some sort of like engulfing candle or obvious reaction at the level. Yeah, you're welcome, Jacob's Ladder. I've gotten good feedback on it. I think, honestly, that's one of the hard parts about technical analysis. And I can't say that I've like 100% figured it out. But waiting for confirmation. And what is confirmation? Like, what are the rules for when do I actually enter a trade? So hopefully sharing some of the things that I use are helpful. But yeah, I think we can all, like, whether you're using RSI or levels or 15-minute opening range or like liquidity grabs, whatever it is, tons of different strategies that work. But you have to know when to enter the trade and when not. You can't just enter every single time it bounces off a VWAP or every single time it interacts with previous day high or previous day low. And you hear people talking about wait for confirmation. What the heck does that mean? So hopefully sharing what it means to me, at least. Not that you have to necessarily copy it, but kind of start to use it and then watch the market and figure out your own rules that make sense for you. Coming down. My goodness, you guys, this is a kind of a jumpy first 15 minutes. We got 1 minute until the 15-minute opening range is officially set. Where the heck did that candle come from? I mean, I know you can look left and see this little bit of pre-market chop right there. But was it really enough to like engulf the whole 15-minute range? Wild times we are in. You're having issues with the Lucid data feed? I'm actually trading on Lucid right now. Like the chart that I have up in front of me with Tradeovate is Lucid, and it looks the same as my trading view. So I don't know. That's weird. Do you have the live, like the CME data turned on? Is it connected or activated or whatever they call it? So like this part up here on the top left where you look at your NQ or whatever you're trading, you can't see it on my screen. But does it show yellow? Or is it white and black? Well, gold's coming down. That's about to hit my stop loss. And there goes NQ. So here's our 15-minute low officially. Stay patient today, you guys. Zooming out to the 5-minute, you can see this is just wiki all over the place. Not super clear. ES is still well below VWAP. So unless something like drastically changes and ES launches up and starts showing some signs of strength, I still think we're going lower first. We have a pretty small range, don't we? It feels like it. 122 points. With this small of a range, there is a chance that it could break both ends of the range. That's what Edgeful is saying. So real quick on Edgeful, it's showing that there's a 50% chance that it'll just be a single break of the opening range, the 15-minute opening range, which also means that there's a 43% chance that it could break both ends of the range. So that's something to be aware of. Still in this gold trade. Like I said, it's just one contract, so I'm just letting it play out. 53.30-ish is what I'm aiming for if this thing stays bullish. All right, NQ, where do you want to go? Let's break out of this range. You're back and appear to have missed nothing. Yep. I'm just waiting for NQ to figure out where it wants to go. ES is looking quite a bit weaker, so who's leading? Is NQ going to get strong and carry ES with it? Or is ES the weak one and it's going to pull NQ down? Who knows? Who's the person in the chat that has the magic 8 ball? I need the magic 8 ball person. Emiliano, you're in a short. Yeah. I'm leaning towards shorts. ES is looking short. NQ doesn't have any follow through to the upside. There's a couple things that are holding me back from shorts. Risk to reward is not great if it does end up coming back up to the top of the opening range. That's like a 50-point stop loss. And then it could even come up to London high and grab some of that liquidity before going back down. So just staying patient. Yeah, 6 minutes till news also. It's the home sales. Is that what it was? Yeah, existing home sales. So that could be part of the reason for the chop and the lack of direction. How long have I been trading? I started in September of 2024. So almost a year and a half, right about a year and a half. I have not taken a trade on NQ. It's pretty ugly right now. I'm in a long on gold, just one contract, one micro. It bounced off of VWAP earlier, pre-market. I entered at like 8:35 Eastern. And I'm holding it for kind of a home run target of like 53.30-ish. Or I could hit my stop loss, which is in profit. Haven't really been watching it much. News in 5 minutes. Let's see if we break out of this range. Yeah, Eve, today is tough. Is this the Eve that's Eve 2020 in Discord? Is that you? Okay. I saw your message. I'll get you your discount code for Lucid today. You're welcome. Kind of hovering at VWAP. If you watch, so this is the chart that I have up on another screen. And ES has been sitting below VWAP pretty much the entire open. Like this right here is the opening candle. Where is our 15-minute low? That's an old one. 15-minute opening range low on ES is right here. Let's see if it's going to break out of this range. Looks like ES might be the one that's leading the show. Get me up. Riley, you want to come say hi? Say hi. Hi. My kiddos are on spring break. My daughter wanted to come in and say hi. She's like, I want to be a YouTuber. All right, go see if Gammy will help you. A mini trader? Yeah. They're my cheerleaders, so if I'm ever in a trade, like, sometimes I'll follow through on a trade, like, just what am I trying to say? I'll start it, I'll enter it on my computer, and then I'll just kind of monitor it on my phone and be like making breakfast or whatever. So sometimes they'll see it on my phone and they know which way. Like I have my risk to reward tool. So like, let's say I put this up and they know which way. Like if it's in the green, it's good. If it's in the red, it's bad. And they'll cheer for it and be like, Mom, let's go, let's go. It's funny. Your kids are off next week? Yeah, this is our spring break. We have a lot of breaks coming up because we have spring break this week, and then over Easter week, they get Friday and Monday off. So, like, just around the corner, we have another 4-day weekend. And then it seems like that, right after that, is the last month of school. They finish up the Friday before Memorial Day. I feel like the second half of school goes fast. Because there's all those Mondays off where there's like MLK Day and President's Day and all those things. So there's a lot of 4-day weeks and then spring break and Easter break. All right, news in 1 minute. Let's see if it finally breaks out of this chop. Oh, your teen is burnt out. Yeah, I would imagine that's a tough age. That's when you start having homework and papers and senioritis and like all that stuff. Plus, on top of that, if you're applying to colleges and stuff. I have a 10, almost 11-year-old who is like learning to love sleep. He's enjoying this spring break. I don't think he's even awake yet. And it's, for me, I'm Central Time. It's 9 o'clock. My littles wake up early. They don't care if it's spring break. They're still up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, ready to go. Mom, will you play with me? All right, coming down to possible bounce areas. I got London low at 893-ish. Here, I don't feel like there'd be a super strong bounce. You might be able to grab a scalp off of that. Asia low at 836-ish. And then, I mean, depending on how heavy it gets, this green box would be, like, if it comes into this green box right around 665, there's lots of confluence for that area. We have our anchored VWAP from the low at 24K sitting in there. We have our weekly VWAP right here. Lots of reasons for a good bounce down here. Oh, wow, Eve, that's awesome. The gold trade, it's not moving. That's why I haven't really been paying attention to it or like talking about it much. It's still, I think, in profit. Yeah, it's still in profit, but it's just sitting there. I have my stop loss in profit, so if it does drop down, I'll be out of it. That's gold. Just sitting there. So NQ broke out of the range. Hasn't closed outside of the 15-minute opening range yet. Drifter, you're Pacific time. Where are you located? I think it'd be awesome if I was Pacific time. I'm a morning person, so I would love to have the market open, be at 6:30 in the morning, and be done with my day by like 8:30. But I imagine there's the struggles too. Like that would also be right during the time that I'd be getting my kids up and breakfast and ready for school. So trying to trade during that time, that would be hard. Oh, you're in Canada. Cool. The red anchored VWAP is from the overnight low from Sunday. Down here. And I anchor it at on the 1-minute chart just to get it as detailed as possible, but it's right around 2200 Eastern time. Still not getting that continuation down. So if I zoom into the 2-minute chart just to get a little bit more granular, It did break out of 15-minute opening range on that chart. Let's see if it comes back up to VWAP and rejects. Could be a decent short opportunity here, right at 25K. I'm watching. I might short it. Both VWAPs are there. All right, I'm going to try it. 982.1 is where I got in. Right there. So reasoning was, I've talked about this setup before. It broke out of the 15-minute opening range, came back up and retested VWAP, and I'm banking on continuation down. Let's see if it comes down to Asia low or even that green bounce box that I have, but that would be a little bit more of a home run target. Gold still hovering there, not doing much. But here is that NQ trade that I just got in. Gonna put my stop loss in at break even. Asia low is at about 850. So I'll take off half of my position there. That last little wick down on gold a second ago, that hit my trailing stop loss, so I'm out of this trade now. Possibly watching for a bounce here at VWAP at 5184. If it comes back down here on gold, could be a long opportunity. If we get a bounce somewhere around there, I might try long. So London low is here at 893. Let's see what we get there. I'm actually wrong. Asia low is at like 834. So that's where I want my first TP to be. Come on, let's get some continuation. I know London low is here. There's definitely more room to the downside. The debate going on in my head is, am I being too greedy? But just trying to play price action and not P&Ls. Oh, Verisad, of course you are. If it breaks this London low at 892-ish, I could see an easy path down to Asia low. It's gotta break though. I'll be right back. Getting a little bounce here at that London low. It wasn't like a typical liquidity grab though, because it didn't quite like go below it, wick below it, and then bounce up. So I'm feeling decent about the fact that it's going to continue down. Close the door. Still watching gold on another screen too. This is the one that I got stopped out in profit on, and then this is the trade idea if it comes down to VWAP. 5184-ish. I'll be watching to enter there. Oh, come on. That was a big, heavy drop. and not really an aggressive buy up, in my opinion. So looking weak. So a couple of you guys in the chat are talking about fear with trading. If I may, what helps me with that is you'll hear a lot of people say, like, go back to paper trading. I personally don't like paper trading. I don't think it's helpful. Some people like it. So, I mean, if you like found your strategy and you practice well with paper trading, go for it. For me personally, I think paper trading is a waste of time. It doesn't help with any of the emotions. Like, you're going to totally lose the fear easily if you go back to paper trading. So what I do is I take time off, whether it's 1 or 2 days or 1 or 2 weeks. Like, don't watch the market, don't look at charts, just take time away from trading so that you can kind of get that like excitement for trading back. Like, if you get that feeling where you're starting to miss it and you crave looking at the charts again, then I would say you've taken a long enough break. So take a break and then size down. Like, go back to one contract until you get your confidence back. Yeah, I think paper trading can be helpful if you're like trying a brand new strategy, or like if you're practicing how to do a stop loss, or like moving your TP and like how to click buttons and stuff. And if you're brand new to trading and you know nothing. But in terms of like actual learning, I don't think it's super helpful. Like maybe with back testing and stuff. But I know for me personally, when I was in the very beginning paper trading, I would just throw on like 5 minis and make $10,000 in one trade. But then equally just go lose $5,000 on the next trade. Like, I didn't care. I wasn't careful about it. It wasn't teaching me good habits. Well, it is kind of holding at this London low. Dang it, is this where we're actually going to bounce? I have my stop loss a little bit above the 15-minute opening range high, or opening range low. Go down. I guess maybe London low is the spot that it's going to bounce at. What the heck? All right, let's see what happens at this VWAP. 984. We have about 9 minutes until our initial balance is set. I guess we're waiting for an IB trade today. Yeah, the market is crazy today, indeed. Yeah, I had my stop loss slightly in profit. I made like $50 or something on it. So I'm out of the position. Gosh, is this thing going to go back to the high? It's hovering, struggling here at VWAP. Let's see if we get some continuation down. Let's see how this 1 minute candle closes. I don't want to see it bounce just from that London low. Gosh. Starting to look strong now. ES is breaking through VWAP too. Yeah, the short I was in earlier, it broke below the 15-minute opening range low, came back up and retested VWAP, so I took a short. It hit my trailing stop loss and profit, but I didn't take any partials. I probably should have. I was waiting for Asia low though. And now we're heading up, starting to look stronger. It's a good day to stay patient, you guys. The range is not super big today. Total for the New York session, it's been 190 points. There's days where that happens in the first 5 minutes. Well, we have our IB low right here. Still have a couple minutes, but that's probably going to be our low. I currently have it on the 5-minute time frame. You can see the watermark on the background if you're curious, because I switch back and forth between like 2-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute, just to kind of get a different picture of what we're looking at. Nope, not in a trade. I was in this one, but it hit my stop loss and tiny profit. All right, we officially have our initial balance set. Let's see what we get. It's all of a sudden looking bullish. Dang. What do you think? Are we going to break out of the IB high and continue? All right, chat. We got 118 people watching. We got 48 likes. Go hit that like button. Show me some love. You hope it goes up to pre-market high for a short. Yeah, it's not a bad spot. London high around 25,148. Do I teach my strategy? Yeah, I have a bunch of videos on it on YouTube. I don't even know how many videos I have on my channel at this point, but there's a lot on my strategy on YouTube. If you do the like premium subscription, they're all in there kind of in a little bit of a better order, but to be transparent with you, they're also available for free on my channel too. Nice, Eve. Yeah, that would have been nice if you held it. It's moving now. Do you need any indicators to use my strategy? No paid indicators, but I have a video that shares all the indicators that I use. I use VWAP is probably the only one that you actually need an indicator for. All the other ones, I use an indicator just to make it easier, but there are lines that you can just mark out. Like the session volume profile, for example, I use an indicator just to kind of cheat. But you can use this fixed range volume profile tool to find your volume profile and mark off the value area high, value area low, and point of control for the ranges that you're watching. And then same thing with initial balance. They have indicators for the initial balance, but you can just mark them off manually for the first 60 minutes of the New York session. All right, coming up towards IB high. Do I plan to short? I'm going to see what happens at IB high. And then if we don't reject there, I'll see what happens at London high. But this is a decently strong move up. Kind of looks like the trend is showing its face at this point. I be high, here we come. Maybe. We started to get some momentum and then it just kind of stalled. There we go. Travel with Leo. I'm going to watch and see what happens. So if it looks like we're getting a liquidity grab and rejection, I'll look at edge full stats for retracement targets. Or if it looks like it's going to break out, I'll look at extension levels to the upside targets. Kind of what I'm watching for. If we do get a rejection at IB high here and we're looking for a retracement to the 25%, that would be 25.34. So that's a potential pullback spot if we reject. It's such a small range, though. Like, normally the 25% retracement is a big trade. But with the range only being 190 points. 25% is not very far. G-Man's back. Is this price action putting anyone to sleep? Man. It's making me feel like I need a nap. How's it going? Honestly, kind of a frustrating day. For the trades that I've taken, there has not been continuation. So I took this trade on, it was a breakout of the 15-minute opening range low. Down here, retested VWAP, took a short. And I think I was too greedy with my target. I was aiming for Asia low. I didn't take partials down here at London low, which I should have in hindsight, obviously. So that hit my trailing stop loss and profit. And then same thing happened on gold. I was in a long and it hit my trailing stop loss and profit. So I'm green, but just kind of one of those annoying days. No signs of a rejection at IB high. And normally I would look for like an initial balance breakout, retest, and long. I don't think I will today. Partially because we have London high overhead. I think also too, just momentum is not there. Like I'm not seeing aggressive buyers. My upside target is 25,370-ish. I kind of don't see it happening today. This might just be a choppy, rangy day until we get news later in the week. We do have stuff coming this week, right? Tomorrow we have CPI. Thursday we have trade balance, initial jobless claims, and then Friday we have lots of stuff too. So taking all that into consideration, I think that's why I wouldn't take an initial balance breakout trade. Is Verisat still in along? Probably not. I feel like he usually just scalps in and out in a couple minutes. That'd be crazy though. He said he was getting in at 900. There you go, Donna. Good discipline. Good job locking yourself out. Thanks, Donna. All right, someone was asking about edge full stats. I'm not seeing anything like super convincing, but so if we were to get a rejection of IB high, like if it starts to break below, we can look at retracement stats. So I'm on the initial balance breakout report. Sub-report would be retracement level. So on the initial balance breakout, which is what happened, it shows there's a 47% chance it'll hit the 25% retracement. Only a 21% chance it'll hit the 50% retracement. So 25% is 2534-ish. So if we get a rejection back down to here, that could be a decent long entry, or at least watch for a reaction down there. If you're in a long already and want some breakout levels, so on breakout days, what's our range? 0.76. So let me change this. Changing it to the size of our initial balance range. So here's breakout targets. If you're already in a long, or find a spot to enter a long. We have, I mean, the chances are good all the way down to the 0.4. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll zoom in a little bit. So this is the 0.4 extension. It'll hit a 55% chance that it'll hit the 0.4 extension. And what do you know? The 0.4 extension is sitting right around London high. So that, if I was in a long, I'm not. But let's say it pulls back and I get in one. I do like that target, that level as a target, because we're right at London high, the 0.4 extension. It could be a decent like liquidity grab, sweep back down. So that'd be a good spot to take profit right around 156-ish. You could be safe and put it at 150 just because that's where the London high is. But yeah, there's the edge full stats for the IB right now. I don't know if this is going to give us a pullback though. It's kind of just in this slow grind up kind of mode. Makes it hard for someone who's not in a trade to get in one, right? We can watch and see what happens up at this London high, 150-ish. Another possibility, since it has not retraced back down to that 25% retracement yet, if we get an obvious sweep of London high and sellers just take control, we could possibly short back down to that 25% retracement. Or if we get some continuation that looks super heavy, I could see us targeting VWAP somewhere down here around 25K. So we'll see what happens up there at London high. For now, we wait. You were waiting for retest of IB high. Yeah, it's kind of just been in a slow grind up. It's hard to enter anything right now. Momentum is slowing though. Oh my goodness. Do something. All the markets. So I have gold on another chart. It's kind of just stayed in this little like 30-point range all morning. That's funny to say out loud. What, like 7, 8 months ago, trading gold, if you got 30 points, that was like a banger trade. Now 30 points for gold is like, that's it. It's just been moving so crazy lately. That's why I've only been trading like one micro or maybe two if I'm feeling like crazy. But I go as small as I can because the range, like volatility with gold, is so crazy. So right now, the whole London session range is 30 points. 45 points. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, Emiliano. I mean, I'm not the type to just set a limit order at that level, but I do like that there's some confluence there. The point 4 extension, which is where Edgeful was saying there's a good chance it'll hit point 4, but not as good of a chance it'll hit point 5. So having that be somewhat in line with London High, I could see that being a decent spot for a rejection. I'll be watching it, waiting for confirmation. If we're kind of still in this like slow grind chop, and then maybe I see like one tiny little red candle at London High, then no, I'm not going to short it. But if we get like a volume down on the bottom of the screen increases and we get a big red candle on the 1 or 2 minute chart that kind of just engulfs a big part of this move, then I would maybe take a short. So we'll see. We're coming up now. So I would want to see an obvious wick above London High and then like clean rejection. None of this where it just kind of like touches it and then slowly inches down. I look for like aggression in the rejection. Haha, I'm a poet and I don't even know it. You can start rapping. Just kidding. You guys don't want me to do that. You would totally leave the live stream. This is what happens when the market is slow. I start telling terrible jokes. I gotta entertain myself. If it isn't like a clean liquidity sweep here, the next level would be 25,200. And then if you look left, this candle right here, back on February 26th, that whole area up there hasn't been retested yet. That's why my little red box is up there. But again, I don't feel like today has the momentum for that. If the market stays bullish and starts to break some of these levels like 25,200-ish, I could see that being the target. But maybe when we have news coming out the rest of the week. Oh my goodness. All right, it's breaking London High. That's not the kind of liquidity sweep you'd be watching for. It broke it and then just like continued up. This market's making me laugh today. Every trade idea I have, I feel like the market NQ's like, nope. You know why? It's probably because earlier today I made a comment about how NQ and I were besties. She said, no, we're not. We ain't friends. That's what she said. And that right there is why I don't set limit orders at specific key levels. That would have been probably the quickest stop loss hit in history. Kovnerly, I hope you didn't take a short, buddy. I was watching the level. I was watching for a short. But NQ said, see ya! All right. So I was zoomed out on the hourly just a minute ago. We got some wicks up here at like 206, 25, 206. You can see what happens there. Man, I'm so annoyed. Okay, this has been happening all week. Well, all week, I say that. It's the second day of the week. It happened yesterday and today where I had the right bias. So I guess I can be happy about that. I wanted longs. I was just too greedy in my pullback level. I was watching Asia low at 8:30 and then this green box. Nope. It's a prank. Yeah. I guess I could still reject, but it's kind of in that. I mean, you can feel it. Like if you've been watching the charts long enough, you can feel it where it's just like a slow grind up. Not a single red candle. Like this isn't a trending market. This is just like untradeable. That's what I'm going to call it. Getting ready for CPI. Yeah. Yep. That makes sense. Kind of being in this choppy-ish range. I mean, you can't really call today choppy after like 10:15 this morning. It's just been up. But no real super clear trend. Like if you zoom out on the 1 hour, it's not really breaking out of any levels. Like I would assume it would break or reject here at 25 200 ish, and you can see where it kind of held here at these lows around, I don't know, 24 900 ish. Just in this range. We might not break out of it until news tomorrow, mañana. Creating levels for tomorrow. That is true. Tomorrow's a bearish day. Yeah. I guess we can see how the overnight goes and what kind of levels it rejects. I kind of just try to watch the range. So I know when I zoom out to the 1 hour, it gets a little crazy on my chart because I have a bunch of levels, but I like to have a bullish scenario and a bearish scenario. So if we start to break above 25 200, I have the target at 380s. And then if we're bearish, down here at 660s. That way I can go both ways. All right, gang. I think I'm going to call it there. I'm not seeing anything exciting. I might watch, if it does come up to this 25, 205, 207-ish and rejects their possible short opportunity, but I'm not thrilled about it. If it happens to come all the way back down to VWAP around 25.18 or 25K, possible long there. It's just kind of a slow, grindy day. Nothing standing out to me. If you haven't already, guys, hit that like button on the way out. If you're loading up on any prop firm accounts, use code Krista. I appreciate the support, you guys. And I'll be back tomorrow. We do have lots of fun data releases tomorrow, so it should be a good one. Have a great day, guys. Take care.